On today's episode of Crappy RV, where I explain why RVs are crappy, it's story time. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our back wall issue that we had. We bought this brand new. We were only about 1,000 or 2,000 miles into owning it when we saw some screws on the inside. So we did some investigating and found that the screws were popping out from the L bracket that connects the wall to the floor. We called the manufacturer, asked what to do. They said there is a bar in here that isn't this hollow, that we need longer screws and we need to use Loctite. So we did that, put the Loctite in, put longer screws in. About a week later, we saw more screws come out. So we called again and they said that we need a bigger L bracket. So we got the bigger L bracket, had that put in. Again, within a week or two, they fell out again. Then we noticed that the skirting was starting to buckle, and we noticed our slide was coming in closer to this side and doing damage to our to the side right here. And then we also noticed that the other slide was coming in and it was shifting. Like some would come in and I'd have to get out there and push the outside. So we were noticing all these things starting to happen, and so we called the manufacturer again, and apparently that hollowed tube was supposed to be filled with wood so that the screws, when they went in there, has something to grip onto. We come to find out that this is an engineering defect and this whole wall needs to be replaced. So we were like, oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. So they said that there's a field fix for it. They said that we could bring it up to Indiana. So we actually scheduled it to go to Indiana in the spring. But of course, you know, they were backed up 4 months at the factory, which is why we had to schedule for the spring. But in the meantime, we took a trip in there and the screws fell out again, and we could actually see the ground from inside the RV. So we called again and they said, hey, we got to get it up here right now. So that's part one. Stay tuned for part two.